first off, I want to talk with you guys sort of honestly about a discussion that's been going on in the newsroom for the last week. If you have been watching the news, if you've been watching conservative Twitter, you have probably seen pictures of people greeting President Biden at different stops and essentially not greeting him at all, but actually protesting him. We've had stories that have done very well showing a group of utility workers turning their backs on his motorcade. We've also had videos showing people wearing T-shirts or holding signs that say F Joe Biden, only they have not censored it the way I just did. And so we've had a talk in the newsroom about this. We're a Christian conservative news and commentary organization, and we're kind of grappling with what do we do with this F Joe Biden movement. And we talked about it a little bit, and it's a difficult thing to figure out what to do with. But I think one thing that's interesting is to talk about what has caused people to do that. Even at its worst, I don't remember a whole lot of F Trump signs out there. Now, we had Robert De Niro getting up and saying, listen to me closely, F Donald Trump. So there was that in kind of the Hollywood crowd was doing that. But we didn't see it just that widespread, I didn't think. There was lots of nasty stuff, but it has become even nastier. And so I started wondering why in the world this is, what's causing this. Then I happened to listen to Victor Davis Hanson for a couple of days, a couple of different lectures he did. He made some points that I think were good that I'm going to borrow from him. You know, these folks who are out there with these signs and with these T-shirts on, they've been called some pretty rough stuff too. And you and I have been called that. We've been called deplorables. We've been a basket of deplorables. We've been bitter clingers, people who cling to their guns and the Bible. We've been called Neanderthals. That was Joe Biden. We've been called chumps. That was also Joe Biden. The first two of those were Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. And also, we're routinely called racist, fascist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, bigoted, and a litany of other just incredible insults that really go to people's character. But it's not just that. What the Democrats and the left have done to Americans over the last generation is truly appalling. We have essentially had anyone whose work could be copied by someone in China, we have had that job shipped over to China. We got this idea, if you remember when the opioid epidemic was at its peak, we got this idea that, oh gosh, the people in these states, they all got hooked on drugs and then the jobs went away. Maybe it was actually the reverse, that globalization sent the jobs away. And then these people they had made livings and lives off of muscular labor, off of their backs, doing hard things. Those jobs were shipped out to China. And the rich got far richer off of that. But the people who were left in those states had nothing. At the same time, we're living in the least racist country and culture in history. Yet we're called bigoted because we see affirmative action and think, well, you know what? That's actually a form of racism itself. We see the 1619 Project says the country was founded on racism and slavery. It's fundamentally untrue. So we have seen people called unbelievably horrible things. We've seen lives destroyed by the left shipping jobs overseas. And if you look at what's happening to the military right now, you'll see General Milley talking not about how to keep American assets in Afghanistan or how to keep Americans safe there, but you will see him talking about how wonderful it is that all of the squads that are out there, they have the requisite number of minorities and women. It is completely opposite of what we should be looking for. And in fact, we are slouching toward the problems that you see actually in the ancient world. We're slouching toward tribalism, where we identify more with people who are of our own race. We are not as much Americans anymore as we are different tribes, different blocks, different voting blocks. And that is a dangerous, dangerous thing. As you think about where the country is headed, more and more people talk about what will happen if the country splits. I hope it doesn't split, but I fear that it will. And the closer we get to that point, the more trivial signs like F Joe Biden will be, because the dangers that are going to come with that kind of a split are far, far worse. This is something that not only conservatives need to be thinking about, but it's something that leftists need to be thinking about. Is this a fight they really want?